see if anybody's here yet today. It's too early. I have not had coffee. No one's here yet. So I'll just talk to myself. Good morning, Daryl. Why are you always the first person here? How are you this awake? Now people are starting to show up. We're almost a minute in. Good morning, Viola. How was everybody's week? That's too early. 7 is not okay. I got up at 8 and I was like, no, not awake yet. I'm a pretty good morning person, but summer is kicking my butt. This early in the morning, Viola, you are a better person than me. I literally got up, brushed my hair, made some coffee, fed my fish, and then sat here and did absolutely nothing except check Facebook messages. I don't know. It's too early. Anybody do anything cool this week? Fishy or otherwise related? Let's see, what did I do this week? Not a lot. We got an order of plastic plants in this week and filled all of the betta tubs. Let's see if I can move you. So now everything is looking very purple and green. Because I can't keep plants alive for the life of me. I have no green thumb. Good morning, Jordan. You made it today. Yes, I loved your Facebook post. Just the idea of you going, magic, just cracked me up. Because I could just imagine it on your face, and that was hilarious. I can't even. And sometimes that's all you can do with like really awful people is just make them feel stupid. I love it. Have you done anything cool this week, Jordan? Let's see what else. Other than our plastic plants that we got, because I can't keep plants alive, I had a guppy die off, which was real fun yesterday. We had our, what tank is this? I don't know. It doesn't have a name. Our snakeskin guppy tank back there. It smelled for like a day, and it was like, what died? Because usually, if your tank smells, like a snail died or something. Checked the whole tank. I was going through it, pulling out mystery snails because I have an order that's going out on Monday. And I was like, there's no dead snails in here. I see no dead fish in here. What's happening? And so I started moving things around, and we have this giant, like, fake rock arch thing that's in there for the guppies and stuff to hide under. And it has a hole in the bottom of one of the legs of the arch. And normally it sits flat on the bottom of the tank, and I don't know what happened, but a whole bunch of guppies got into the hole and didn't get back out. I lifted up this rock, and just like a pile of like 10 dead guppies came floating out. It was so disgusting, and they had been dead for a while. So I had to do emergency water changes yesterday. because I was like, oh no, the rest of my tank. Okay, get all this out of here. It was really gross, and the water felt slimy, and oh, no. No. Jordan, I saw the pictures of your new place. It looks amazing. It's so pretty. I'm so excited for you. Sad that you won't have a fish room, but still, gorgeous place. You're gonna be so happy there. I'm so happy for you. As someone who recently moved and like, let's see, we literally moved into this place, let's see, 3 days before Christmas. It was a fun move 3 days before Christmas. Don't ever move right before Christmas. But yeah, so we haven't been here too long, just a couple months. And oh, moving here was the greatest. We were so happy. Because our other house before this it should have been condemned. It really should have. We lived in this neighborhood right by Fort Bliss. And all of the houses in this neighborhood were originally constructed for the Chinese migrant workers that came to Texas to put the railroad in. And so all of the houses were these little cookie cutter square houses. They were built really shoddy because they weren't supposed to be permanent. Really, really tiny. I think it was like less than 900 square feet. And the layout was really weird. They didn't have laundry facilities originally. So like our washer and dryer were in a shed in the backyard, because that makes sense. It was really fun doing laundry in the dead of winter. It was great. Snowing and you have to go out there to do laundry. So like this house just sucked. It sucked so bad. It was filled with roaches from the day we moved in till the day we moved out about 11 years later. I hated the house. I hated it so much. Hated it. So when we moved here, we were like, yes, this house is great. It's like twice the size of the other house. It's mostly bug-free except for the ants that are currently taking over my desk. So moving is fun and exciting. Good morning, Petsotics. How are you? How was your week? Let's see. What else did we have happen this week? Not a lot. It was a really, really slow week. We had the guppy die off. We got some new plants. I'm selling some snails on Monday, which I'm really excited about. Who buys 20 blue mystery snails all at once? I don't know, but I'm happy they are. Looking around. What did I miss? We had some baby guppies. A lot of baby guppies born, and they're growing up, and oh. Thank you, Pro-Tim. Good morning. I hope you have a nice day, even if you're not here. Yeah, 20 is a lot. I don't know why somebody bought 20 of them. And they sell snails as well, so I'm guessing they're just upping their breeding stock. I don't know. I'm just glad they're out of my tank because I have too many snails. I think I counted them yesterday and I had 31 blue mystery snails in my tank and another 16 ivory and 3 jades that are extra outside of my breeding stock. I have a lot of snails. I love snails. We got into, this whole project with the fish and everything. And originally we weren't planning on anything else. We weren't going to have guppies. We weren't going to have snails. We were just going to have betta fish. And then we got that tank over by the window. And I was like, oh, well, that's my tank for like plants to grow out and, because we might need an extra grow out. And I was like, but then it'll be empty most of the time. Let's stick some guppies in it. And I was like, let's get some snails. Because snails are cute and I absolutely love them now. I love watching them parasnail and walk on water. Who knew that snails could walk on water? But they can. It's really cool. Oh, your baby mystery snails hatched. Oh my god, they are the cutest. They're the absolute cutest until they're about a couple weeks old. But oh my god, I love them. I haven't had any clutches in a very, very long time, and I think it's just because my original breeding stock has gotten too old because they're about that big now and they're starting to slow down. And I think my major breeding females died off. And so now I've just got a bunch of like really huge males and a bunch of babies that are about quarter size now. So they should start breeding soon. I hope so, because I want some more clutches because they're so cute. We have a really, really cool one out of our clutches that I noticed yesterday when I was pulling snails. We have a golden mystery snail. It's not this big, but it has stripes, like a chestnut or a purple or something like that. It's not just pure gold. I don't know. I hadn't seen one like that before. We have one and it's so cute. I love it. I'm keeping it. I'm putting it in my breeding stock because striped golden snails are cool. Yeah, I think our snails got old a little early because we keep our temperatures up here pretty high. It's actually pretty cool this morning. It's like 79 degrees in here, which is not that bad. But during the summer when it was getting to be like 107 degrees outside, it was getting to be anywhere from 84 to 88 degrees in my fish room, which is too warm. Luckily it wasn't too bad for the bettas, but the snails didn't like it, and I don't know, I think the heat kind of ages them a little bit faster because they're not used to being at that high metabolism. They didn't like it. I had to die off when it got really, really hot. And I think that's just, they're nearing the end of their lifespan. Mystery snails don't live that long. I think the average lifespan is about a year. And we've had these guys for 8 months. So, you know, they're getting to the end of their lifespan for this first group. I want the babies to grow up so I can have lots more. We got some magentas out of this group, and I didn't have any magentas originally, so I'm really happy because I got extra colors. Let's see. What should we talk about today? Yes, please, like the video, because I really don't care. Go ahead. Everybody says, yes, like the video, it helps me so much. I don't really care if it helps. Just like it if you want to. If you don't want to, dislike it. Doesn't hurt my feelings. I'm really easygoing. This whole channel is just, you know, one big fun experiment to do with science, so I do, Viola, you do have to watch for the dead ones, but I don't watch that carefully for the dead ones because they're in a tank with all of my guppies. There's, I don't know, like a couple hundred guppies in that tank. So like anything that dies, they eat really quickly. They love to eat the dead mystery snails. I know it's gross, but that's what they do. So like, it doesn't just sit in the water. When my snails die, they end up being eaten before the end of the day. So it doesn't really foul up the water. It doesn't have a chance. So every once in a while I go through and I look for any I think have died recently, if any of the shells are empty. But I don't have to watch it too much because it's not going to sit there for like a week and rot. The guppies kind of take care of it for me, which is nice. The same with all my other snail tanks. They're all filled with enough snails and guppies that I don't really have to watch the dead that carefully because they just eat each other. They cannibalize. Life cycles. The only tanks I would be really concerned about if something died is probably the betta tanks. Because most of them just have one betta and like 2 or 3 baby snails. So when things go wrong in there, like, it goes wrong. Let's see. I don't think we have any big plans for this week. I'm kind of enjoying all the fake plants we got. Like I was saying earlier, I don't have a green thumb. I kill plants. And unfortunately, with the way this fish room is set up, like you can see over there, I don't have lights on most of our tanks because there's too many tanks, you guys. We started out with 4, now we have 17 here. And I can't keep lights on them all. It's just insane. We have daylight bulbs up here in the ceiling. I have 2 really bright ones, which is why there's so much good lighting in here. We have lights on the 2 guppy tanks behind me. We have lights on the 2 guppy tanks to the side of me. But none of the betta tanks have lights. Every once in a while I'll switch one over and let it like keep the duckweed alive. But we just don't light it up, so I can't keep plants alive in all of these. And so I was looking at the other day and I was like, oh, these tanks are so empty. They all have hides. They all have like little tunnels and things that I've put in there for the bettas, but I just cannot keep plants alive in them. So it came down to, do I buy more plants and try again? Do I buy a whole bunch of expensive lights and try to keep this all running? Or do I just go with fake plants? And they're cheap and they're tacky looking. They cost me 79 cents a piece. eBay. But at least they provide somewhere for all of the bettas and the guppies to hide, and they feel safer because they all like really heavily planted things. So I don't care that it looks tacky, like whatever. I just care that the fish are happy. And if putting some plastic plants in there gives them somewhere to hide and somewhere to lay on, then I'm happy. Let's see, Viola says I need to get a small heater for my betta tank. There's Fry, and it's getting really cool in Northeast Ohio. Ooh, you're very north. I don't have heaters in any of my betta tanks. I just don't. But I heat the whole room. It always stays warm in here, like god-awful warm. I don't recommend it for anybody who has their office in their fish room like I do, because you will never escape the heat. And I live in a desert, so it's like even worse. It's just always hot, and it's humid in here because of all the tanks. So like right now it's 51% humidity and about 80-ish degrees. And usually it sits at about 82 degrees and 50-ish humidity, and that's constantly day in, day out. But it keeps all of my tanks warm. The only tanks I have heaters in are the big tubs, because the larger bodies of water, it's harder to keep the water warm. Even if it's like 80 in here, those tanks are going to be significantly colder than all the tiny tanks. The tiny tanks stay more at room temperature. So I have some pretty good heaters in all of the tubs, but none of the betta tanks. Yes, I agree with you. Lights eat up too much electricity. Our electricity bill in this house is already way too high because it's got 2 air conditioners and we live in the desert, so they're running constantly, and it's insane. So like putting more lights in here, let's see, how many lights would I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I would need another 14 lights in here to have a light on every tank. No, thank you. Just no. I don't want to. So I just keep lights on the tanks that have most of the plants, the big tubs, and then everything else just gets fake plants because I can't even. Let's see. Oh, I believe it, Jordan. I really, 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 really do. I got cheap lights, which helps. And they are the eco-friendly ones that have equivalent wattage to something higher than what they are. So that helps. But definitely, lighting is very, very expensive. Outside in the shade was shade. That's the problem with living in the desert. There is no trees. There's no real shade. We have sunshine. We have lots of sunshine, and it gets to be like, in the summer, our typical temperature is anywhere from 107 to 114 degrees. So it's not really feasible to keep fish and things outside. It gets a little too hot. And the constant sunshine is an issue. And so I keep a bucket of Daphne outside, but that's about it. Everything else stays inside. There's no basements in the desert. No. There's just not. My fish room is on the second floor of all places. Which is really, really odd and not what I intended, but it works. I'll admit though, it makes me really paranoid because I calculated how much water I have in this one room alone. Why am I playing with a pen? And it came out to something like, let's see, before I added the new tanks, it was about 1,200 pounds of water in this fish room. Just thinking about that on the floor of the second floor, it's just, I don't want to add any more fish in this room. I really can't though, because, let me see if I can switch this camera around. You're going on a trip. Trip. This, okay, my room is messy. Don't judge. Tanks. More tanks. More tanks. And then behind me, tank. There's no space left in this room. There's just not. There's nowhere to put more tanks in here. Now I need to fix my camera because I've messed it up. Thank God for tripods. This makes my life easier. But yeah, it's just, there's no space in here. I've taken it over. I love the plastic tubs. There are some downsides though to them. Like if you are the type of fish hobbyist that wants to be able to look at your fish on a constant basis and enjoy them for the beauty they are, that is your main goal, don't do tubs because you will not see your fish. You just don't. However, if you are breeding them or doing some kind of, scientific project on it, kind of like we are, tubs are great. They're super cheap. I think the 30 gallons over here are like $10. The little tanks, we have little 5 gallons, are like $3 or $4. Like, they're cheap, they're durable. I don't have to worry about them leaking or cracking. You can put heaters in them. You can write on them. We write on them all the time with marker. I'm trying to think. They're really lightweight. So like even filled with water, I can lift the 5 gallon tanks. That's not a problem. I can lift even the 10 gallon tanks, but I wouldn't go over that. But I don't know, they're really handy. I do, now that I've done this though, I think I like the darker opaque tubs more than I like the see-through tubs. We got those because I thought we'll be able to see our fish. And we can, sort of. They're kind of like fuzzied out by the plastic. And I don't have to worry about the fish flaring at each other too much because they're kind of obscured by 2 layers of plastic between them. And that's okay. But I really like the dark tubs because I have noticed, especially in the guppies, I did not know when we got them that guppies change their color based on their environment. That was not something I knew. But we found out by using the opaque tubs and the transparent tubs The guppies that are kept in transparent tubs tend to be lighter colored. They don't show their color as well because they're trying to blend in with the lighter plastic. But all of the guppies in the dark blue tubs are very, very vibrant and very, very dark colored. And you can really tell when we pull them out of the transparent tub sometimes and we'll throw them in one of the darker tubs. You can tell which ones just came out of a transparent tub because they'll be like 5 shades lighter than the ones in the dark tubs, which is really weird. I didn't know that guppies did that. Good morning, Dee. Viola says, how is the betta sales going? We sold 1 fish. I still have a lot of fish to sell, and I really want to get them sold by winter because then I can't ship. But we're working on it. We've sold a lot of them locally. We had one woman come in and she bought 10 of them and then adopted the 3 that we had for free. I don't know what she's doing with 10 betta fish, but she knew her stuff. She was experienced. She also picked up like bags and bags of guppies. I literally sent her out of here with like 2 shopping bags full of bags of fish. It was like 30 bags of fish. It was insane. Love that family. They're still asking me about guppies, but like my black and blue ones just, they don't want to have babies. We're working on it. I swear. I've actually had more luck selling guppies and the snails than I have bettas. They go really fast, especially the snails, because you just can't get the weird colors locally most of the time in most places. You always have to order them online. And so when we got our snails, we went ahead and made sure we had most of the colors because we knew we were going to have to sell off the clutches. And so it works really well for us because we like, hey, we have blue ones, we have magenta ones, we have purple, we have gold, we have ivory, we have jade. Come get some snails. And people are like, oh my god, I didn't even know they came in that color. It's great. And guppies, everybody loves guppies. Guppies are just a great fish to try and sell because even though everybody has them and everybody is selling them and they're really, really cheap, everybody wants them because you can feed them off to bigger fish and they're healthier as a feeder fish than like goldfish. And they breed prolifically, so it's easy to get a bunch of them. They come in a lot of really snazzy colors. They have great personalities. Guppies are just great. I've really learned to like my guppies nearly as much as I like my bettas. The only thing is guppies have a herd mentality. They are not like bettas. Bettas have very individual personalities, and you can really tell them apart if you pay a lot of attention to your bettas. They have very distinct personalities, whereas guppies are more swim around spastically, herd in a little school, and they don't have much personality. They're just little things that just run at food. How weird. Your guppies didn't breed. Something must have been off. I wonder, were they really small when you got them, or were they like full-sized? I'm just wondering if they were close to the end of their life or not. Oh, you got babies! I'm so happy for you. What kind of guppies are they, Jordan? That's so cute. The first couple of spawns with guppies are always like really, really small. I've learned, I think our first one had 4. 4. And I have all those babies. They've grown up now. But the first couple of batches are always really tiny, and the older the guppies get, the bigger the batches get, which is really cool. We now get some batches where we have one fish dropping like 40 to 100 babies at once, and it's really cool. Good morning, Koi Betta fanatics. Ooh, half black, yellow mosaics. Pretty. I don't know terms for guppies, I'll admit, because it seems like there's like 5 or 6 different ways of describing the same guppy. So like, go feel free to make up names for them because it doesn't seem to matter that much. I'm really into the half blacks right now because we have a bunch of half black panda, which is just slightly different than the half black. It's not that different. And the blue and blacks that we have back there, and I'm trying to get them all to breed, and we're getting some really weird combinations. I really want to show you guys some of our new guppies lately because they're really cool. We bought, God, what did we name it? The guppy Rin, who is a half black guppy with a powder blue delta tail and powder blue and green shine across his back. He's really pretty. Some people call them blue diamonds. I don't know. He's a pretty fish. We got him and he's been breeding lately with all of our other fish. So we're getting some really weird combinations out of it. We have gotten some powder blue snakeskin guppies, which are really cool. And we've gotten a lot of half black and powder blue, and we've gotten some that are like powder blue with like cobra spots. And we've gotten a lot that were like, you could tell they had like orange genetics, but the powder blue has taken over it and made it highly metallic. So now they almost look like white with like creamsicle orange tails. They're really cool. So we're really enjoying this. I hope we get more of them. Oh, I agree, Dee. It's amazing how many guppies you can get out of those big guppies. A few of our females are getting huge now. They're full grown, so they're like 3 inches, and they're massive. They're just absolutely massive females. And it's funny because the males can tell that they are the females to go to, and they only chase the big ones. They leave all the smaller females alone. And you'll just see this herd of male guppies just chasing after this one huge female that's trying so hard to get away. I feel bad for them. Sometimes I take them out and I let them rest. Guppies are mean, but they're so cool. I just love them. I really want to get some more colors of guppies, even though I've been taken over by guppies. Good morning, not Nola Jane. That is very true. They do get very confused. But yeah, the boys are jerks. They really are. I agree with you, Dee. Just doing even like research into guppies, I was forewarned. The males are jerks because they just don't care. They don't care what the females want. They will just chase them down, and it's like a constant battle. Truth, Jordan. Truth. We have some really pretty males right now. Like in all of our takes, we have some gorgeous ones with really cool tails. We had a red one pop out not too long ago, and the male just got his colors in. And he's my only one that has a dark, deep red delta tail. Oh, he's so pretty. I'm keeping him in that group, hoping that he'll breed because I really like his tail color. All the other ones are like this color, bright red. And he's just this deep, dark red. And I was like, ooh, more of you, please. I'm really sad that we had that die off of guppies earlier this week because there were some pretty ones in there. But not our prettiest ones, which makes me happy. I think it was mostly females that died and like 2 males, but it was so gross. I gotta do water changes again today. Today is water change day on both jars and tanks. Fish room chores, guys. I have not seen panda bettas. I want to see a picture of those. I'm gonna look them up later. I love bettas. Our bettas have been changing recently. All of the juveniles that we have jarred in the other room are starting to get their red koi spots. They're so pretty. We have one though that's like really weird. He is a steel blue male, but he's got the red koi spots over the steel blue, which is really strange. I hadn't seen one like that before, and they're just in his fins right now. So here's this perfectly steel blue male with like deep red spots in his fins. He's really neat. I'm hoping they will get more of them because he's cool. But most of our black and white ones haven't gotten any of their koi spots yet. They are, a lot of the cellophanes though are getting their black. So I'm hoping eventually more. I love panda guppies. We have a couple of them. When we got our original batch, it turned out the one black female that we bought was a panda. And so all of her babies have come out panda mixed with other things, and it's like really cool. I love them. They're so pretty. I love that they have like little black pectoral fins. They're really cool. I haven't seen any Dumbos in our groups though. We've had a couple of the ones that have almost crown tail caudals, which is cool, but we haven't gotten any cool Dumbo fins in them yet. Good morning, Rob. How are you doing? How was your week? Number 28 has been renamed as Goby Goby. That's so cute. That's adorable. My husband keeps trying to rename our betta fish. Kumori, the one we got from Jordan, my husband has decided that Kumori's real name is Boing Boing. He does it just to annoy me. So every time I mention her, I'm like, oh yeah, Kumori did this today. Kumori did that. Kumori's boyfriend, who we've named Kirito. And he'll be like, oh, you mean Boing Boing? Her name is not Boing Boing. That's true, Jordan. That's hilarious. The flight attendant fish keeper. It's not wrong. I should show you guys Kumori because I never get good pictures of her. She is enjoying her new tank. She has been, let's see. She has been taught recently what food time means. Let's see, where is she? There she is. She thinks I'm gonna feed her, so she's coming up. There's Kumori. Look how fat and happy she is. I feed her a lot so that she'll grow. I just absolutely love her. She's so cute. And she has one ventral, which is hilarious. I love her so much. But yeah, we've already gotten her trained where she knows that if I'm standing here, this is where she gets fed. So she comes over to look. She's investigating my fingers. She's like, where's the food? I already fed you, Kumori. Hi, little girl. But as you can see, she is happy and healthy and looking oh so pudgy. Just enjoying her life. I need to give her her guppies back, though. She misses them. She used to like to school with the guppies, but the guppies were getting bigger than her because she's a tiny little girl. Oh, I love her so much. Let's check in on the guppies. As you can see, we filled their tanks full of plastic plants and spawning mops, and these are our black and blue I love them so much. I want more of them, but they won't grow. That's not true. Look how many are in there. It's just that they're taking forever. These ones don't get their color for like the longest time. But they're so, so pretty when they do. And then here are our ugly plain ones that we have a million of. Yes, we have a lot of guppies. Here's my snails that are going out for order on Monday. 20 blue ones. And here are our snake skins. There's a couple of blue ones in there you might catch sight of. I see one. They're spastic right now because I think I'm going to feed them even though I literally just did. And then these are the babies that are growing out. There's so many of them. So yeah, my guppies are still producing. Almost daily. I have so many. But they're doing well, and look at this frog bit. Like, it has taken over my tank almost as much as the duckweed. We had to put some over here in this tank, and it's just taking over. It's insane. I'm so happy it's doing well, and I hope it doesn't die when it hits winter. Oh, Moo Cow. Where's Moo Cow? I want to show you Moo Cow. Where is he? Let's see if I can trick him. Oh, there he is, living in his plant. Moo Cow has really darkened up since we've gotten him in here. I love his markings so much. And he's got a white and black butterfly tail. He's so pretty, you guys. So, so pretty. I love him. I'm really hoping he'll get some red. My daughter hopes he won't. But I want to breed him in the future because he is just such a gorgeous fish. Oh, I love him. And over here, Kirito has really developed his fins. He has a perfect spread. And he is the steel blue and black butterfly rose tail. He's so gorgeous. So fancy. I want to breed him too. Guys, I want to breed bettas. It's killing me. It's killing me. But we just have to wait. Because I have way too many fish babies in this room. And they need to go somewhere. Because I can't handle more than 150 betta jars. I just can't. It's too many. Let's see if I can fix you guys. There we go. How many babies do I still have? A lot. I don't know. I'm estimating probably like 140 of them still. If anybody wants to buy a fish, I have lots of fish. That is especially because we're not going to breed anymore until we get rid of these two batches. But guys, there's some really pretty ones in this group. Really, really, really pretty. We've got a couple of duds. We have one that's like, I think it's a he. Is it a he? I think it's a he. He is a koi, and so he's very black and white pattern, like crazy black and white pattern. But he's got so much black on him that it's almost turned the white bits gray. He's very mottled. Looks kind of like a Dalmatian Molly. It's crazy. I can't wait till he gets some red on him because I bet he'll be so pretty. Do we have any elephant ear betas? We do. Strangely enough, out of our first batch that we bred, our first spawn, we got 3 or 4 Dumbos out of that group, which was hilarious because I tried to share it on Betta Breeders United, a Facebook group, and everybody was like, no, there's no way that they're Dumbos because the parents, one is a Dumbo and one isn't, so genetically speaking, they should have carried Dumbo but not been Dumbo. But I'm guessing that our male Zen probably carries the Dumbo gene, because out of the, what was it, 28 bettas we got out of that spawn, 3 or 4 of them are like definitely Dumbo. Like ridiculously easy to tell that they're Dumbo. So, don't know how it happened. Everybody told me it shouldn't have, but it did. And they're so pretty. They're so pretty. They're all metallic blue with white half moon fins and white Dumbo ears. And the white is semi-metallic, so they're like pastel iridescent in the light. They're so pretty. Someone needs to buy them. They need homes. I'm never gonna stop promoting that, because shameless promotion. I need to sell some fish because we have so many, and I really want to breed the next batch, and I can't till these are gone because that's too much work. I wouldn't even know where to put baby bettas right now because like all my tanks are full. Let's see. I think all of the Dumbos are male. Pretty sure. There might be one that's a female, but I don't think so. I'll need to check. I have pictures up somewhere. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I don't think the females are Dumbo. I think it's all the males that are Dumbo. Yeah, but our females are really pretty. We have one really pretty female that I'm surprised nobody has bought yet because she's so gorgeous. I was tempted to keep her. She's a long-finned female. Has the white pastel iridescent fins. Her tail is like perfectly white, but her body is white metallic with blue marble spots. She's so pretty. She's absolutely gorgeous. I can't remember what her number is off the top of my head. I swear I've memorized the numbers of almost all of our spawn. I know them individually because I spend so much time looking at them, because every 2 days when I rejar them, I always check to see, you know, how have their colors changed, how are they doing, how are their fins doing. And so I've just learned over time how to identify them by how they look, and I know their numbers right off the top of my head. So if somebody comes and said, oh, I really want a blue metallic female, I could be like, oh, look for the jar with this number on it, because I know that is the blue metallic female we have. I believe it. If I could, I would keep most of them. There's some really ugly ones, but most of our better best spawn. I have words. Most of our betta spawn was really pretty. There's no way I can keep that many fish. Agreed. True. I do love all of them. I take good care of my bettas, you guys. They don't just sit in their jars in the other room. Well, they do, but like we check on them constantly. Every morning I go in and I feed them and I look at the jars, make sure they're okay. Every 2 days we do water changes, so I take them out individually and look at them and make sure they're doing okay. Right now they're on a dose of methylene blue because we had some that their cellophane fins were starting to get a little red, and I was like, no. So we're working on it. I will show your comment. Go ahead and advertise in my chat. I don't care. I really don't. Like, if people want to buy stuff off people advertising in my chat, go for it. Just don't spam. Like, now that you've said it, you don't need to say it again. But, like, if anybody wants to advertise, if you're selling some fish, go ahead. I don't care. I'm easygoing. But, yeah. Fish. I have too many fish. Pretty fish, but too many fish. But now that we've got shipping open, it's really easy to get them out of here. and send them. I do not keep tops on our betta jars. In fact, I don't have tops on any of our tanks. None. I haven't found it necessary because we keep the water in the tank about that far down from the top. And all of our bettas are happy in their tanks, so they don't jump. They don't ever jump. Jarring, they do jump during the process. One always ends up on the carpet somewhere. But I found that in the jars, we keep the water down about that much and they don't get out. But it is more likely for them to jump in small containers, I've noticed, because they get spooked easy. I don't mind making the shipping boxes. I think it's just because I've got everything like set up in our loft. We have like this big container of the styrofoam inserts, and we have the pile of boxes there. I have the tape there. I have everything I need to put a box together, so it's like really easy to just get it done. And we went ahead, before I even started shipping, I went ahead and like typed out care instructions. Like you guys, I went full on out psycho crazy. And I have care instructions that go into all of my boxes that I ship out. So like if somebody's buying bettas, I can just hit print and it's got all of the betta instructions for how to take care of your betta and how to contact me. And I have one for ram's horns and mystery snails and one for rice flower beetles because I ship those out. And I have aftercare instructions and like how to acclimate them to your tank. So it's really easy to put the boxes together because I could just hit print for everything I know is going in the box and stick it out there and we're ready to go. But luckily I do small shipments, not like Jordan. Jordan like ships a ton of boxes all at once. I have like a couple at a time, so it's not that bad. Let's see. You feed your betta gnats. I believe it. I believe it would totally jump out of the water and try to get those if it could. They will definitely try that. They love bugs. Aw, Gobi Gobi. I love that name. That's hilarious. See, I just know him as 28 because that was his number here. See, I've already memorized it. I know exactly which fish you got and I know what his number is. Number 28. But that's hilarious. I love that name, Gobi Gobi. Yeah, it must be harder for you because you're like up in Canada. And like, even like in all the fish groups that I'm in, you don't see a lot of people shipping in Canada. I always see people asking, like, does anybody ship to Canada? But you just don't see it a lot. I think a lot of the fish shippers are all international, sadly. We're getting to where there's a lot of them here in the US. But like, even still, it's not like the quality you'll find from like Thailand and places like that. Yeah, Canada's just, it's a lovely place, but you're not the first country people think of to ship to, I guess. Yes, tell us about your fish stores in Canada. The fish stores here suck. I think it's because I live in the desert. We have a couple of the box stores, PetSmart and Petco and Pet Barn. Pet Barn is worthless, you guys. We have a Pet Barn that is literally a block away. Like, I could walk there so easy. But this little rinky-dink place has one fish aisle. It's only about 5 feet wide. And they have one tub of feeder fish, and they're always dead. And that's all the pets they have in their store. What kind of pet store is that? I hate going there. All of their stuff is like really expensive. They have almost nothing for fish. Like 75% of the store is just dog food. I hate it. I hate it so much. And I'm really sad because when we moved here, I was like, oh, we live near a pet store. Oh my God, I'm going to go there like all the time. And it's like a block away and there's nothing. It's worthless. But we have one reef store here. That's in El Paso. Saltwater. And I've heard we have one freshwater fish store, but I don't know where it is and I've never been there. It's the desert. Nobody here has fish. Probably because it's so expensive to ship fish into the desert. They are not here naturally. You can't get fish here naturally. And most of the year we're on like water reserves. So like we have very specific city regulations for how much water you can use in a day. And especially during the summer, we have regulations about how often you can water your lawn and for how many hours and at what time of day. Because, you know, desert, we don't have water source. And sometimes in the summer when it doesn't rain, we get into really low reserves and they're like, okay, you can take this many showers in a week between this and this day if your address is odd. Like, it gets insane. Ooh, you got cool shrimp. I want to hear about your cool shrimp. I kind of want shrimp, but I also feel like my guppies and my bettas would just eat them. So I probably won't for a while until I get a free tank. I don't have any free tanks right now. Aww, how cool. That is true, Viola. I don't need a fish store. I am the fish store. No, we order out for all of our stuff. Everything's off like eBay and Ken's Fish and various online sellers, and it works except for the fact that our mail system sucks so bad. It's really terrible. Someday I should just make a video showing you guys what I go through to get my mail because it's so stupid. Oh yeah, we have water bans on our lawn watering totally, which is hilarious because nobody here has lawns. It's the only place I've ever been where nobody has lawns. We have rock lawns. Like everybody, the yards have just been stripped out and they just fill them full of rock landscaping. There's no grass. If you have grass, it's like a rare thing. We don't even have grass in our backyard. It's just sand because you can't get it to grow here. It's terrible. The desert sucks. Jordan, I love that. Magic. That literally just cracked me up. Totally, the picture made it everything in that post. I died. I just love that that's your response to somebody who's, you know, rude, mean person, and you're just like, magic. I'm sorry, I'm excluding everybody else, but the post was hilarious. Sometimes people just suck. And there's nothing better than running into somebody who's just a terrible person and just making them feel stupid because they don't faze you. I've met a couple people like that. People were just, they're in it for the drama, I swear. And there's all you can do at them is laugh and just be like, okay, that's fine. Gonna go do my own thing now. Nothing phases me anymore. You guys, we've almost been here an hour. Oh no, we've talked about like nothing. But I don't know, I still enjoy these Saturday morning things where people are just hanging out. Just, you know, spending time together. I kind of imagine we're all just in an imaginary room somewhere, sitting around a table, just chatting and drinking coffee. It's like hanging out at breakfast. That's what we're doing. That's why I don't have topics. Kind of like with Dee usually has a topic. We don't stick to it, but she has a topic on her live streams. I'm not even going to pretend to have a topic. We're just here to enjoy each other's company and enjoy our Saturday morning coffee, and hang out, and, you know, just be people. Because sometimes we are fish people. We are all fish people. We love fish in this hobby, but, you know, we have other stuff going on. Sometimes it's just cool to hang out and get to know each other. Good morning, Matthew. How are you doing? We're almost done, but hello. Good morning. I hope you have a lovely day. Coffee. Yes, coffee. Coffee. I wonder if my daughter's gone yet. She has archery on Saturday mornings. One of my husband's friends at his work, her and her husband teach weaponry. It's a really weird hobby, but they do. They teach weaponry. So they have this class on Saturday mornings. It's completely free for people to go to, where they teach like archery and axes and swords and like cool stuff. And so my daughter got involved and she is doing Saturday morning archery. And turns out she's really good at it, which is amazing because she is not athletic. My daughter is a noodle. She is the least athletic person to exist. So she's having a lot of fun with the archery because she gets to go out there for like a couple hours, and she goes out to lunch with her dad and just goes and shoots things, and she likes to pretend she's a bow rogue because she's very into gaming, and so she just goes out there and shoots archery. We think we're gonna get her own set of archery gear for her birthday coming up, because her birthday is at the end of October. So it's gonna be exciting. I hope she doesn't shoot any of our neighbors. Ooh, crossbows. I have never shot a crossbow. I have shot like a longbow. Because I had the weirdest upbringing, guys. This has been going for like an hour, but I want to tell this story anyway because I had the weirdest upbringing. People never believed me. But I grew up in Oregon on the southern coast, which is not that unusual. Oregon is a beautiful place. But my family was a little bit different. There's 6 kids in my family. I am the youngest of 6, and I am an identical twin, which most people don't know, but I am. And growing up, my dad, when he was about 20 or so, bought property out in Oregon on a lake, has its own freshwater spring, but there's no road access to this property. So growing up every weekend and for like 3 months of the summer, we would go up to our cabin that my dad built himself on this lake with no road access. And we basically lived there for a good portion of the year. And you had to go in by boat. There's no roads. It's like probably 50 miles from anywhere. And we lived at the very end of this massive lake. It's called 10 Mile because it's a 10-mile lake. But we lived at the very end of it on this stretch of it called Black's Arm, which was actually named by the native population because there were so many trees around this stretch of the lake that the water looked black, and they were scared of it. There was all kinds of folklore about how crazy and scary this place was and the spirits that dwelled there. I'm getting off topic, but anyway, we spent all of our summers and our weekends up at this cabin. So I basically grew up in the woods. I grew up like running around through the forest. We had very unusual pets, uh, lizards, snakes, mice, pack rats, bugs, lots of bugs. One time my parents let me take home 400 catfish. We found baby catfish. I don't know why they let me take them home. They didn't live. They lived in a bucket. No, it was not good. We fed them goldfish food. Cringe. We had pet deer. We had squirrels. We had chipmunks. We had a bear that lived on the property. And we had, for a short period of time, a pet osprey, which was really cool. Birds of prey are neat. His name was Cody. Sadly, he didn't live very long. We found him. He had fallen out of a nest, and we took him home, and we caught him live fish, and we fed him fish, and he lived with us all summer. And then we took him to a rehabilitation place, gave it to them. They were stunned. They were like, oh my God, how did you keep it alive? These things are so picky about what they eat. And we're like, oh, well, we just, fed him fish. But he only survived at the rehabilitation place for about a week. He had damaged his primary feathers and how they grow in when he fell out of his nest, so he was kind of weird and janky looking. And they gave him surgery to try and fix his flight feathers. I don't know why, but they did. And he got an infection and died like a week later. I was so upset about it. Because, we had him for like 3 months and he was fine. But they were trying to do what they were supposed to do, and we had to turn him in because, you can't keep a bird of prey. But it was really cool. So yeah, I had a really weird upbringing. We had lots of animals. I could tell you so many stories about encounters with bears and cougars and coyotes, and I grew up learning how to gut deer and clean fish and dig latrines and all the crazy woodsy stuff you wouldn't think I would be involved in, because now I live in this big city. So like in my family, here with my husband and my daughter, I am the woodsy type. I'm the one who knows how to do everything. Like, I am not fazed by blood and dead things. Don't bother me. Like animal care, I don't get like grossed out by anything, because I grew up like playing with the cut off dead legs of deer. When my dad would dress them, he'd cut off their hooves and let us run around and do hoof prints in the dirt. I know, I'm gross. So I had this really weird upbringing. That seems so atypical for who I am. Oh yeah, we did the survivalist thing quite a bit. It was a tradition in our family for several weeks out of the summer to go on this canoeing trip where we would go out of civilization for like a week at a time and just live off the land, like where there's no roads, no way to get to any sort of help if something went wrong. We'd go whitewater rafting and hiking and stuff like that. So I'm a little strange compared to most people's upbringing. Like, that kind of stuff doesn't faze me. Yes, Portland is known as weird, but that's what's so great about it. All of Oregon is weird if you've never been there. It's a really, really pretty place. It's a rainforest. It's gorgeous there. It never stops raining. Pacific Northwest is the best. I love it. I wish I still lived there, but also not. Because I grew up in a very small fishing village. But the people in Oregon are strange. And I'm saying that as an Oregonian. We are weird. Because everybody who goes to Oregon, it's like the hippies, the people who are like really eco-conscious, and like old people that retire. So everybody out there is a little strange. There's a lot of like artists that retire there, a lot of writers that retire there. It's very different from every other state I've been to. I love it there, but it's very strange. When I came to Texas, it was culture shock because It's really very different here in the desert. Yes, it is very hipster. That's where hipster was invented. Oregon is so strange. But it's so nice. I miss the trees. I miss the grass. I miss the rain. Northern California is beautiful. It is very like Oregon. It really is. Have you been to the Redwoods? I've been to the Redwoods a couple times and they're so pretty. I absolutely love there. I want to go back. I want to go back so badly. My husband is a city boy and can't handle Oregon. It's too cold for him. He doesn't like the bugs. He doesn't like the outdoor. He gets bored if he doesn't have his computer. My daughter's the same way. She won't go camping with me because she's scared of bugs. And so, like, I'm the one who wants to go camping. I'm like, oh, let's go hiking, let's go camping, let's go fishing. I could just sit there for hours and go fishing. And my family's like, but, like, computer, can we just sit inside and type and, you know, not? No, bugs are great. I love bugs. Except cockroaches. No. We don't have cockroaches in Oregon. Growing up, I had never seen one in my life. It's too wet there. They don't like it. It's too wet and too cold. And then I moved here, and they're everywhere, and they scare me, and I hate them. Every other bug I'm okay with, but I'm not okay with that. How did I meet my husband? That is a very interesting story. Not how you would expect. Actually, we met online. Back in the days of when, like, ICQ was a thing. Does anybody remember ICQ? I feel old. It had a random chat button that you could click and it would just pair you up with, like, random people over the internet. I don't know why they did it. These days they would never do that. But it was fun sometimes to just see who you got paired up with. And I was up late one night and hit the random button, and so did he. And we got to talking. And he lived here in Texas. And I still lived in Oregon. I was probably, I was 18 at the time. And he was in college. And we got to know each other. And about 3 months later, I moved here. And we got married and had my daughter, and I've lived here ever since. We got married, like, really, really young. I think I was literally, 19. I was 19 when I got married. And I had my daughter when I was 20. So yeah, it's weird. We didn't meet like normal people. We're both nerds. Terrible, terrible nerds. He has his degree in mathematics and computer science. And he works IT. Aww. Sometimes it works out. It does. I wouldn't recommend it for everyone. But sometimes it works out. I'm lucky because I had my daughter so young. By the time she's 18, I'm only going to be 38. I'm going to still have most of my life. That's the best part. She's going to be 18 and I'm still going to be in my 30s and I'm just going to go on with life. No, I'm probably going to be really close to my daughter all her life because we're like two peas in a pod. We're very, very, very much alike, and we spend a lot of time together since she's homeschooled. Aw, that's so sweet. That was the same with us. We got married really, really, really quickly. We have now been married 15 years. Sometimes it works out. Oh, I wish I had gotten to know my mother better. My mother died when I was 13. Unfortunately, she had breast cancer. So I kind of just grew up with my dad and my stepmom. Neither one are great people. That was a very pointed look. But I am resolved to be a better parent. So far, I'm winning. Okay, you guys, we're like way over our limit. I will see you guys next Saturday morning if you just want to hang out. It doesn't have to be about fish. We don't have a topic. Just show up and hang out if you have nothing better to do. If you have something better to do, go do it. But otherwise, come hang out with me. We'll chat, we'll tell stories. If you have questions, you can ask questions, but I'll probably just ramble about random things you guys haven't heard yet. We'll drink coffee, and we'll check in on all of our little fish and things that have happened, and we'll have a lovely time. And if anybody else has a stream today, please tell us in the comments so we can visit, because nobody else has anything better to do on a Saturday. I don't. I have water changes to do, and that's it. So feel free to advertise. And then tomorrow morning, I know Dee has her live stream, which I will be at because I go to every live stream. I will be there. And then we can all hang out there. We're like a weekend crew. But I will see you guys next Saturday. Everybody have a lovely day. Hopefully none of the rest of you have to do water changes today. I have no idea. I can't keep track of everybody's live streams, but like, go to live streams. They're so much fun. Ew, hot water heater working. That's fun. No. Repairing anything isn't fun. I have to do water changes on the jars, water changes on the tanks. I was supposed to do cleaning my mealworm culture today, but I did it last night because I couldn't be bothered. I don't have anything else to do today, just water changes, and that's going to take the entire day. Yeah, that is a problem. I remember hearing that he had changed it because I think it used to be in the morning, wasn't it? Now I have taken over mornings. Okay. I'll see you guys later. You guys have a lovely day. Drink your coffee, have some breakfast. Although it'll be lunch before too long. See you guys next week.